Hello everyone. Welcome to Kickstart Privacy. Ashik this side. Okay, are you taking on a role of a new privacy professional in a company? Then you are watching the right video. In this video, I will teach you on how to build a privacy program by following few steps. Come, let's build a privacy program together. I'm going to cover these topics today. The goal of a privacy program in an organization. What are the primary objectives of your privacy program? The steps you can take to build a privacy program with some example to understand. And finally, the conclusion. All right. Okay. Being the first privacy professional in a company can be a challenging but exciting opportunity, right? Let's understand the goal. What would be the goal for the privacy program you are developing in the organization? The goal of a privacy program is to strike a balance between the responsible use of data to achieve the business objectives and the ethical and legal obligations to protect individual privacy rights. Right. Next, what would be the primary objectives if you want to build a privacy program in an organization? Let's understand one by one. Legal and regulatory compliance, ensuring that the organization comply with local, national, and international privacy laws and regulations such as GDPR, CCPA, etc. The second one is protect individual rights, respecting and safeguarding the rights of individuals by ensuring they have control and transparency over their personal data. Right. Next, trust and reputation. Building trust with customers, employees, and stakeholders by demonstrating that the organization values and protects personal data. Next one is risk management, identifying, assessing, and mitigating risk associated with the collection, processing, and storage of personal data to prevent data breaches, financial penalties, and reputational damage. Next one is operational efficiency, respecting and safeguarding the rights of individuals by ensuring they have control and transparency over their personal data. Next one is informed decision making, ensuring that senior management and the board are informed about privacy risks and can make decisions that consider both business opportunities and associated privacy risk. Next one is embedding privacy culture, cultivating a culture of privacy within the organization where every employee understands the importance of data protection and acts accordingly. Next one is the future proofing, ensuring that the organization is prepared for future changes in privacy laws and regulations, technological advancements, and evolving business models that may impact the data privacy. All right. Next, let's understand the steps one by one. So there are steps, some steps, few steps you can take to build a privacy program. The step one, understand the company's data processing activities. That would be the number one step. Okay. You can start by conducting a comprehensive review of the company's data processing activities. For example, you might look at what types of personal data does the company collect. This could include the customer's data, employee data, or other types of sensitive information. The second point is, how is personal data is processed, how it is stored, and how it is shared within the company, and who has access to personal data, and what are the policies and procedures for managing access, etc., and what third party service provider does the company use, and how do they handle personal data. So by understanding the company's data processing activities, you can identify the privacy risks, and you can also develop the strategies to mitigate them. um, See, the steps involved here, it is not necessary to follow the same steps. All right, you may follow according to your organization's need and the context of the organizations, etc. Everything is involved. Okay, let's move on to the step number 2: creating a privacy policy. You can develop a privacy policy that outlines the company's commitment to data privacy and explains how personal data is collected, used, and protected. For example, the privacy policy might include a statement of the company's commitment to data privacy and data protection, an explanation saying that the types of personal data that the company collects and the purposes for which it is collected, an outline of the company's data protection practices, such as the encryption methods used and the access control, and the data protection retention policies, right? And an explanation of data subject rights, such as the right to access and correct personal data, and the process for submitting the data subject request. So, by developing a privacy policy, you can communicate the company's privacy practices to stakeholders, and you can build a trust with the customers, employees, and other partners. All right, let's move on to the step 3: establishing a governance structure. Okay, establish a governance structure that defines the role and responsibilities for managing data privacy. For example, you might create a data protection, the DPO role, to oversee the company's privacy program and serve as a point of contact for data subject request. If you are one, and you are appointed as a data protection officer in the company, then there are data protection roles and responsibilities available within the regulations requirements. All right, so you can also develop a privacy committee to review privacy policies and practices. You can also identify privacy risks and provide guidance on privacy matters, if any. And you can assign data privacy responsibilities to relevant departments, such as the IT team, to the legal team, and the HR team. So, by establishing a governance structure, you can ensure that privacy responsibilities are clearly defined and integrated into the company's operations. All right, let's move on to the step number 4: implement privacy controls. So, implement privacy controls that mitigate privacy risks identified during your review of the company's data processing activities, right? For example, you might implement data encryption to protect sensitive data from unauthorized access. You can develop access controls to limit access to personal data to only those employees who really need it. And you can also develop the data retention policies to ensure that the personal data is not kept for longer than necessary. So, by implementing privacy controls, you can reduce the risk of data breaches and demonstrate that the company's commitment to data privacy. All right, let's move on to the step number 5. Train employees. So, by developing a training program to educate employees on the company's data privacy policies and procedures, for example, you might develop a privacy awareness program to educate employees on the importance of data privacy and the impact of privacy breaches. And you can provide training on how to recognize and report privacy incidents. You can also develop policies and procedures for responding to privacy incidents and provide training on these procedures as well. So, by training employees on privacy policies and procedures, you can help ensure that everyone in the company is aware of their responsibilities and can help protect the personal data. All right, let's move on to number 6. Step number 6: conduct a regular assessments. So, conduct regular assessments to evaluate the effectiveness of the company's privacy program and identify areas for improvement, right? For example, you might conduct privacy impact assessments, for new projects to identify privacy risks and develop strategies to mitigate them. You can also do a data protection impact assessment for the data processing activities that involves high risks to the rights and freedom of any individuals, right? And conduct regular audits of data processing activities to ensure compliance with the privacy policies and procedures you have created in the earlier steps. And also monitor data subject requests to ensure that they are handled in a timely and effective manner. So, by conducting regular assessments, you can identify privacy risks and develop strategies to mitigate them and ensure that the company's privacy program is effective and up to date. All right, let's move on to step number 7: maintain compliance with privacy laws and regulations. What are those? As a privacy professional, it is important to stay up to date with the latest privacy laws and regulations, such as GDPR or CCPA. You should review these laws and regulations and ensure that the company is in compliance with them. For example, you might conduct a gap analysis to identify areas where the company's privacy program falls short of legal requirements. You can develop strategies to address any gaps identified in the gap analysis. You can also develop procedures for handling data subject requests and ensuring compliance with data subject rights under applicable privacy laws. So, by maintaining compliance with the privacy laws and regulations, you can reduce the risk of legal penalties and build trust with customers and partners. Right. Let's move on to step number 8: continuously improve the privacy program. So building a privacy program is an ongoing process, right? And it is important to continuously review and improve the program over time. You might solicit feedback from employees, customers, and partners on the privacy program and use this feedback to make improvements, right? You can also monitor the emerging privacy risks and adapt the privacy program to address them. You can subscribe to any data protection authorities websites on the emerging privacy risk. You can monitor as well, and you can review and update privacy policies and procedures on a regular basis to ensure that they remain up to date and effective. So, by continuously improving the privacy program, you can ensure that the company's privacy practices remain effective in the face of evolving privacy risks and regulations. Let's move on to step number 9: communicate with stakeholders. It is important to communicate with stakeholders such as customers, employees, and partners about the company's privacy practices. This can help build trust and demonstrate the company's commitment to data privacy. You might publish the company's privacy policies on the website and make easily available to customers and partners. You can develop a privacy notice that explains how personal data is collected and used in specific contexts, such as in marketing or recruiting. You can also develop a process for responding to privacy inquiries and compliance from customers and partners. So, by communicating with stakeholders about the company's privacy practices, you can build trust and demonstrate a commitment to data privacy. All right, let's move on to step number 10: collaborate with other departments. It's very important, right? Privacy is not just the responsibility of the privacy team, it requires collaboration across the entire organization. You should collaborate with other departments such as legal, IT, and HR, marketing, corporate affairs, and this is to ensure that the privacy considerations are integrated into all aspects of the company's operations, right? For example, you might work with the legal department to ensure that the contracts with the third party service providers include the appropriate privacy obligations or the protections requirements, right? And you can work with the IT department to ensure that the privacy controls are integrated or implemented into the company's technology infrastructure. You can also work with the HR department to ensure that employee data is handled in a manner consistent with the company's privacy policies, right? So, by collaborating with other departments, you can ensure that privacy considerations are integrated into all aspects of the company's operations, reducing the risk of privacy breaches and demonstrating a commitment to data privacy. All right. So, these are the 10 steps I have written here. And let's understand the final conclusion. um, you know Building a privacy program takes time and effort, right? But it is essential for protecting personal data and maintaining trust with stakeholders. As the first privacy professional in your company, you have the opportunity to shape the company's privacy culture and establish best practices that will benefit the organization for years to come. For years to come, right? All right. So, with this, good luck and for your privacy program in your company. This is the time to kickstart, right? And thank you for watching. And this is time to subscribe too. You can also stay tuned for more videos on data privacy and protection topics. All right. Bye bye. Thanks again.